Hi there, brick builders. Today we are back with some onboard footage of a very special vehicle. Yes, it's moving, remotely controlled, and it's a bit special since what you can see is a shovel. And this one has a shovel and a fork. And it's nothing to eat. Yes, there. We're talking about a wheel loader. A wheel loader that comes in two varieties, as I said, with a shovel or with a fork, with a pallet with some barrels on it. And yeah, that's basically it for that one. It's remote controlled. It can do everything a wheel loader could do, including being a wheel loader. The thing is the BlueBrixx Pro wheel loader number 107307 with 2842 pieces for 14 plus people, and it's a Technic model with 4 motors, 1 battery box and a remote control. But first things first, let's have a look at the box. In the front we have a picture of our wheel loader with a picture of the motors, the battery box and the remote control. On the sides we have some text and some pictures of the wheel loader as well, and on the back we have our 2 varieties here and our movement angles. We can move the shovel up and down, and we can tilt it, and we can have the fork which can do the same. And of course the thing has articulated steering. It can go forwards and backwards, and it can articulate its whole machinery left or right so that you can steer. Neat. Then we got the stickers here. The whole AA and BB stuff is about the stickers for the remote control or the cables, that you know where to put what, and all the other stuff, BB tech stuff, is more or less a bit of decoration. And you got a license plate, a German one. And then we got our instructions here. It's typical for BlueBrixx. It has a lot of sub-assemblies and has a lot of other stuff. We have 6 sections with 476 steps here, which includes both versions. And then we got a parts list in the end, and in there we get colored new stuff and not that colored or less colored old steps. And then we have a look at the thing in motion. This time we got the fork in front of this vehicle, and for most of that what I'm gonna show here, I will use the fork since we have a pallet with some barrels on it as a weight. And yeah, it's a tight fit, and as you might have already seen, the steering is very digital. So if you're not as experienced as some other people than me, you have a lot of problems with those steering capabilities, and also the starting of driving forward or backward is a bit rough, is a bit very digital. This could do with an analog steering, but it does work. The cogs that do help with all that stuff are a bit delicate at times, or even built a bit delicate, but they're working. Maybe they're working not to the end, but they're working. Then we got our motor here, or better the fan of the motor. There is a motor in there, but you can't see it anymore once the thing is finished. Also there you got all your linkage there for all the functions. All the 4 motors are in the back. All the functions are done with lengths of links there. And what's also done is that the steering wheel is moving when you articulate the vehicle. So you got your 4 axes of movement. You can tilt the fork or shovel, you can lift the lift arm, and you can drive it forward and backward, and you can articulate it like this. And you can see the turning ventilator rather well. Where is our battery box? It's in the back of the vehicle behind the back bumper. You can tilt that bumper or you can loosen it with half pins in the upper part and a tilting mechanism in the lower part, and then you can reach the battery and you can reach the switch on switch off button and you can use it to charge the whole caboodle. And once you've done with charging and showing off this battery, you can just close it again, click in the half pins and everything is okie dokie. And then we got our remote. This could theoretically have 12 axes used. It is purely digital. You can reverse the direction where the engines are going, but that's it. And you have to switch the whole thing depending on if you want to steer and drive forward and backward, or if you want to use the shovel or fork. Here we got our leftover pieces, nothing too dramatic. There are some normal pieces, not Technic pieces in there. These are mainly done for the barrels and something with the boom arm in the front. Then we got our packaging here, we got our unboxing here. You're just cutting some tape and then you get in there. You can put out all the stuff. You have your 6 sections there where you can sort all the stuff. You got your instructions in there. And of course you got your big shovel and your big wheels, and that's basically it. And of course there's stickers and all the electrical stuff. It is German and therefore everything is in there. There's no special separate packaging for the electric stuff. It's all in there and you get a real box. With that, we're in the building phase, so what do I think of it? It's basically everything is there, everything does work. Sometimes the angles can be driven to a position where they are not longer working without some aid from outside, but if you don't do that, if you avoid driving something too far down or too far in any position, it really does work. Always the remote. The only thing is it's not an analog remote, it's a digital remote, and therefore, yes, it's a bit harsh, especially with the steering. Not so much with the shovel or fork there with the lifting or tilting. This is quite slow anyway, so there is no problem with the digital part, but for the starting, stopping and especially the steering, it's a bit more on the problematic side. So once you have mastered that, you're gonna have much fun with it. In here everything does work. There's nothing you should or must say that it's broken or something. No, it's a bit inconvenient at times, especially with the steering, but I said that already, I guess. And that's basically it. Colors are okay. Clutch power of the Technic pieces is okay. There's nothing falling apart in there. And you could even use it for some real work, in quotes. The instructions are quite good. Sometimes there's a bit of a problem with the angle. Sometimes you might have to look twice if you got the right piece, but it's Technic. Whoever did build some Technic in his life won't be surprised maybe by the quality of the instructions, and maybe it's not that big of an instruction set as you might have done with Lego stuff, but it's working, it's doable. I was even able to do it, and I'm not the Technic expert by any stretch of the imagination. So if you like that one, you might well go ahead and use it. Maybe I'm gonna try a analog mod at times. Maybe I do try some other mods, but that is something the future will bring us. And for now, that's my conclusion here. If you like it, you're doing nothing wrong, even with the pricing. If you don't, buy something else. With that, if you liked what you've seen, please press the like button. If you didn't like it, please comment me that. And if you really want to be awesome, please subscribe. With that, have fun building, have fun watching, have fun playing, and see you